Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all of my irresistible money magnets. It is Money Mondays, so we're going to talk money, things that go along with it. All this month, as I said before, we're going to talk about credit. And with that being said, we're going to talk about your credit report and some of the major things that are listed on your credit report. Last week, we talked about the credit report itself. Um, how long things can stay on your credit report, how to dispute certain things, as well as settlement with collection agencies. Today, we're going to talk about student loans, specifically repayment plans and consolidations, because student loans, as I said before, is one of those things that will not go away. It has to either be forgiven or paid off. There is no in between. It will not come off with a bankruptcy. I've heard people saying that their student loans just went away. I'm like, yeah, okay, it just went away. You got a new TI 10 numbers, what you did. But anyway, I'm not going into that. As I said before, this week we're going to cover consolidations and repayment. Now, the student loans that I'm specifically referring to are student loans that are through the federal government, not private. I don't know anything about private student loans. However, if you have questions about that, I can do the due diligence for that and get you information on it. However, that will have to be a specific request. You can DM me or you can hit me at Nivea, Nivea 517 at gmail.com. But if I don't get a specific request for it, I'm going to do something else with my time. Now, as I said before, student loans can be consolidated because usually if you have to take out student loans for your education, you're doing them every semester. And that creates a new loan, right? So instead of paying each one of those separately, what you can do for free is have those loans consolidated so that you only have one payment every month to go towards paying off that student loan debt. As I said before, there is no application fee and there's no charges to do that. However, sometimes you may get a call from a third party saying, oh, let's consolidate your student loans. However, there's an application fee and there's a charge to set it up. If they're doing that, that's because they're taking your federal loans, paying them off, and then creating a loan with them. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative, but why consolidate with them when you can consolidate with your current loan servicer? You know what I'm saying? Why do all that extra stuff? All you have to do is call and speak with the representative, and they can give you the steps of what needs to be done in order to consolidate your loan for no fees and no charges. The other thing that I said I was going to speak about are loan repayments, because the best way to get rid of student debt, other than somehow figuring out how to get it forgiven, which we'll talk about next week, is to basically pay it. Bite the bullet and pay it. You can afford Jordans, you can afford your student loan bills. Like, let's be real. You can afford Remy bundles, you can afford to pay something on your student loans. Just my opinion. But anyway, you can actually set up a repayment plan and it can be changed at any time for free, right? The standard repayment plan on student loans is that you have a fixed amount that you pay every month, and the goal is to have it paid off within 10 years. Another option is graduated repayment plans. What that does is it's a monthly payment as well. They start off low and they gradually increase every 2 years over that 10-year period. So it's like you should be getting raises and bonuses at your job while you're working, and that can be reflected in the amount that you pay. That was just an example, in the amount that you pay towards your student loans. The more money you make, ideally, the more you should be putting towards your student loans to pay them off. But that's just like with any bill or any loan, anything dealing with your credit, right? Another option is an extended repayment plan. This particular plan is specifically for those that have over $30,000 in student loan debt, direct loans. And what they do with that is they allow you a 25-year instead of a 10-year or 25-year time frame to pay that debt off. So your payments are going to be a little bit lower because it's over an extended period of time. But if you calculate all the extra interest you're paying, then it's kind of like you have to balance it out that way, right? Another option is the revised pay-as-you-earn repayment plan, also called REPAY. This particular option sets your payments based on 10% of your discretionary income. So discretionary income is calculated based off some of your bills and your family household. So if you have like, it's you and you have like 2 kids, then your discretionary income is typically or will be considered less discretionary income than someone who doesn't have any kids. If you guys make the same amount of salary, so you make 30K and you got 3 kids, they make 30K and don't have any kids, they have more discretionary income. That's just a cut and dry, real quick example. It's not a hard and fast rule. If you want more detail, want me to go into it or explain it further, DM me and I will, or you can just Google the word discretionary income. Okay. Another option is income-based repayment plan. This is different from the one that I just went over because what this is for individuals who have a high debt relative to their income. So if your student loan debt is $175,000 for whatever reason, and you only make $55,000 per year as your salary, you have a high debt relative to your income. So what this plan would do is it would give you the option to make payments that's 10 to 15% of your discretionary income. However, excuse me, it gives you 20 to 25 years, depending on if you have some of that is for undergraduate or graduate costs. Let me back up a little bit. So it gives you 20 years to pay off the student loans if those charges were related to your undergraduate degree or just being an undergrad, period. And then it gives you up to 25 years to repay the loan if you have loans related to graduate courses, right? And say you hit that 25-year or that 20-year mark and your loans aren't paid off, this particular payment plan will allow you to have that debt forgiven. However, anytime you have a cancellation of debt is considered income to you because that's money that you were supposed to pay and you didn't. So it may be taxable, but it really just depends on your particular situation when you file your taxes. Let me back up. The repay plan that I talked about as well, where it said it's the 10% discretionary income as well, that is also giving you a 20 to 25 years to pay off the student loan, but there's no forgiving option without. As I always say, no, that was pretty quick. I hope it was helpful. And next week we're going to talk about forbearance or defers, where you stop making payments on your loans and how to get defers, as well as loan forgiveness. As I always say, be good or be good at it. And my new little saying is be good or be careful. You all have a great night, my irresistible money magnets.